Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your cowgirl Aries, and that's Cowboy Aaron.
I ain't no
and
cowboy.
Little cowboy, cow moppy, little cow patty boy's outside. Now he wants in. So Aaron's going to let the little cow patty in. Come on, Mop. Good boy. So, today we're going to be talking about
Dentists.
dentists, right. That's our topic for today.
And particularly oral surgeons, which are even worse than regular dentists. Dentists apparently have one of the highest suicide risks, and I understand exactly why. Because they're money-grubbing, asshole-ish whores. Unlike other dental fields, they do not set up payment plans. Unless you qualify through
A
credit union.
Like,
you have to pass a background check and a credit check, and then you have to get credit through some company or organization that will pay the bill, and then you
Capital
can
One
pay
has
them.
a dental thing, for
Exactly.
example.
So if you don't qualify, oh well. You can't afford it, oh well. You're screwed. Dental problems used to be the leading cause of death in the world about 120 years ago or so. Heck, even up to 75 years ago, 50 years ago, it was one of the top 10 leading causes of death. Now it's down to like one of the top 30. It's not that major anymore because dental work has gotten better. But as dental work has gotten better, our dentists also think that everything's a frickin' premium. And it's like, you want to go in and have a filling, you better pay for it in advance. My dad was able to do billing on his, but he was also doing the computer programming for the dentist.
I wanted to say that what upsets me the most of these damn places is I've contacted every university dental clinic in the state here that we're in Washington, and they say they're between 30 and 50% lower than most oral surgeons or dentists.
The thing is, we've contacted over the last 3-4 years probably close to 100 to 150 different dental places, mostly oral surgeons. You see, I have a tooth on this side, right about here, that's missing more than three-quarters of the surface structure, and it's going to crack if they try to pull it. It's got 4 roots left, and an abscess has been growing up the center. I've had antibiotics about 2-3 dozen times that will not even reduce the size of the abscess anymore. It's the roots themselves are actually fused to the bone beneath, so I cannot remove the tooth without actually breaking my jaw to do it. I mean, people have said, why don't you just pull it yourself? Because I can't pull it myself. What is visible, what is above the surface, is going to crack. What's below the surface, even if I dig at it, I'll never remove it. I could sit there and pick at it and pick at it and pick at it. All I can do is grind down the bone, which means I'm going to have to remove gum tissue with a knife to get to it. That it's not something I can do. I can't just go to the dentist and do it because the abscess, its location, they can't numb the abscess, so they try to do a slight pull, and I'm like, ah! And they're like, oh, well, it's not numb enough, we can't do anything. On top of that, I have a possible heart problem, so I'm told, oh, well, it needs to be done in a hospital setting in case you have an emergency. You're already there, so that there's like a crash cart, so that if you have a heart attack, you're going to survive this. And so I contact places that can do that, and they're like, yes, we want $1,700 up front. There's a place in Wenatchee near us that wants $2,800. The only place I can find in Moses Lake wants $2,500, all up front. I make $900 a month. It costs me a minimum of $800 just for basic bills and supplies each month. That means I'd have to save up for 28 months, or 2.5 years almost, just to get a tooth pulled. And I'm already having a problem on this side that they won't touch where they end up screwing it up, because over here they left a root in the jaw, and now it's broken free and it's trying to come up. It's either that or part of the jawbone they broke off, and it's trying to come up and come out. Regardless, it's beginning to cause me a lot of pain over there. And then when they did this, they also ended up knocking a filling out on the top tooth, and I can't afford the $125 to get the filling on the top tooth.
Oh, don't forget, I want to bring
So
up something.
that
Hold on.
top tooth is going to end up abscessed and just as
I'm
bad as
going
the bottom
to
two
be,
if I don't get it done.
Fillings are dirt cheap at the community health center, but they don't know how to do a damn filling.
Yeah, well,
in my
they won't
opinion.
see me. That's the problem. I have to go somewhere else, and then I'm not going to be on a sliding scale anymore. The community health center, what a sliding scale! It's supposed to be $0 flat. If you can't afford it. But theirs is $35. Even if you make $5 a month, you have to pay $35.
Ah,
It's a guarantee that it's going to be $35 is the cheapest
Sorry.
they get. Oh, he touched your foot?
yeah, I put some hydrogen peroxide on a
Oh.
nail to disinfect it a bit, and he decided he wanted to lick it.
Oh, well, don't go licking hydrogen peroxide. It's not that it's a bad thing for you. You can gargle with it and stuff.
Yeah, Moppy, just let mommy be, okay?
So, anyways, I just wanted to, we both were wanted to say, what is it about dentists thinking that they can charge an arm and a leg, and if you can't afford it, oh well, screw you. That is why they have such a high rate of suicide. It's not just the fact that they make people scream and squirm and people don't like going to them, and that their job for a living is to cause people discomfort and pain, but it's also the fact that they don't have a heart to help people who are desperately in need of help because their pocketbook is more important. I'm sorry, but
I wanted to say, kind of a joke type thing. The Bible speaks to Timothy too, lovers of money. Well, the dentists are lovers of money.
when I had all 4 wisdom teeth extracted at the same time about 12 years ago, I got them all done for $750. And that was under general, too. Hey, great thing. $750 under general. Same doctor today wants $1,800 for one tooth. One. It used to be $750 for 4 teeth and general. Now it's $1,800 for no general. Wait, that's with general. $1,800 for general and the extraction.
I do want to say
The University of Washington wants $1,700 up front. It used to be you could go into an ER there. Now you have to set up an appointment, which they may not even see you if you set up the appointment, and they might still charge you.
what
that's a
the
nice
UW
thing.
said was, you got to go there in their walk-in part. You walk in there. If they see you, fine. If not, they make you make an appointment.
This is a school for
and
teaching.
you got to pay up front.
This is a school for teaching, and they want their students to get paid $1,700, which they can't keep because they're students, which means it ends up going to the school. But they're teaching their students to go ahead and rip people off. The University of Washington's supposed to be finding patients for them to work on various different things. Well, isn't this a unique thing to work on? You got an abscess growing through the center of the tooth. That is not very common for people. That is why the tooth basically burst into 4 sections. Now I only got 1 section left. And I got this giant abscess, and it's fused to my bone. That's not something that's typical. If they're trying to get these students to learn something, then it's in their best interest to bring in people that have odd situations like mine and not charge them up the wazoo. Instead, they want to ass rape me and tell me, oh, well, we might not be able to help you anyways after ass raping you out of this much money.
I do want to say that their clinic is kind of, in my opinion, wrong, because when I called 6 months ago plus to see about him, they basically, he called them back because it was confusing me. They made us go through this group, that group, when Aaron said his story, and this and that. It was, advanced dentistry, up to wazoo, price went up, price went up,
and then there
price
was that
went up.
place in Yakima that's supposed to do it, and basically if it's not dentures, forget you. We've called them, we've left them messages. They're supposed to do this sliding scale that's supposed to be a $0 fee for me, and they can actually sometimes do general, but that's very rare for them to do. But that place there, they won't call back. We've left them about 30 messages. No one will ever answer their phone. There is no email. Well, actually, there is an email. We have emailed them. They will not email back, and they will not call back. So obviously they don't want the business because it's too complicated for them. Yeah, that's the other thing with dentists. It's too complicated. They don't want to deal with it. Yeah, it's called Affordable Dentures, and they have other services, including extraction under general. So, sedation dentistry, it's right there. So, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm already getting some minor mental problems from this, where I'm trying to remember a word such as, like, which, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, the thing you'd prefer, which one? And then it's like, oh, which? That was the word I was looking for. Because I used it the second time, and it's like, oh, well, that's the word I wanted to begin with, and, well, I couldn't remember it. And all sorts of things like that. I'm walking into a room or walking out, and I'm sitting there with trash in my hand, and I don't know what I'm doing with it, and I'm looking around, and it's like, I don't know what to do with the trash. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I was looking for a trash can after like a minute or 2 or 3. This is not normal behavior for me, and I guarantee that it's because of this abscess, and it's probably beginning to eat away at my brain. But what can I do? No dentist will touch me. And then you go to the ER or a doctor, and they're like, well, we don't deal with dental work.
I wanted to
We
say...
don't touch dental problems. We don't have a dentist on staff. It used to be a #1 cause of death in the country.
Excuse me, I do want to say that...
Why can't they deal with
What's
it?
really weird is a lot of people don't have his problem. He's disabled. Yet some people go in, they say, oh yeah, my tooth. They numb you up. 10 minutes later, just like me, out. And then him, it's, oh yeah, how you
3
doing,
hours
Herb?
later.
Did you see that game last night? 97 minutes later,
Yeah,
we finally got it. Joe Bob.
When they pulled this tooth here, I don't know if you could see that, but when they pulled that tooth there, it took them 3 hours at the University of Washington, cracking it, breaking it, cracking it, breaking it. Then they had to drill along and try to smooth out the edges along the jawline there, because they couldn't get every fragment of it out of there because it's fused. I'm sorry, but my teeth are essentially one with my head. And that is part of the problem with getting them out of my skull. And unfortunately, there is no dentist who can technically just remove it that easily.
And then...
Hers come out within seconds. It's like, oh yeah, here. Oh, there we go, we got it out. And it's like, we just walked in the door, you got it extracted already, and you're like, that wasn't anything. But they're sitting with me, crack, 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 crack. And I'm sitting there crying at the same time, and they're like, if you're not going to stop crying, you're going to have to leave. And then like 3 more cracks later, they're like, please leave. And it's like, geez, you just cracked the hell out of my tooth. Obviously, it's shattered down there somewhere, and you're going to send me out the door. That's real nice to do. Yeah. So anyways, that's all I got to say about this. I want to get to dinner.
And I just wanted to say, you know, that dentist...
And I'm sorry, if there's a dentist alive that's out there that is a nice guy and reads this or watches this, then let us know that you're an actual decent dentist out there that's willing to help people, because right now I think every dentist out there is a money-grubbing, cock-sucking leech who will take whatever fricking dime they can get from anybody, and they don't have any care or empathy whatsoever for any other of mankind. And I'm sorry, even if you happen to be from like Florida or something, I can't come see you, obviously, because I can't afford to even get out of the state, let alone pay $100 for a dentist. So how am I going to pay like $500 to travel? If you feel like you're in that type of thing, maybe you can arrange something at my local hospital, show up here in town, take a vacation out this way, and use the hospital here to remove the tooth. I would love you for that, but unfortunately no one is going to do that, because all these dentists are all just a bunch of money-grubbing whores. So,
or a-holes, as he said earlier.
Keep stealing from the people.
So, like I said, dentists are something that, you know, some are good, some are bad. That's all I wanted to say. With that said, please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments in the book, in the box, and please add us a friend, and please post suggestions. Thank you. May God bless the world.